There are many. Over the period of journey, there were many. So once upon a time, it was implement an AI ML. That's done. So somehow or other, it is coming up, and whatever I have been thinking or envisaging to be getting implemented, or I see value in it, somehow or the others is coming into place into the projects. Yeah. Now you ask me today, right away, Anil, what's in your mind? How about metaverse?
You are watching CIO TV by Enterprise IT World, a production of Accent Infomedia.
In conference rooms, classrooms, smart homes, and places that are home to power, our products help people connect, communicate, and collaborate. Master a meeting, an opportunity, a moment. And while sometimes our solutions do nothing more than advance the proper mood, more often, they move companies, communities, and even humanity forward. And it's that innovation that fuels us. We are Crestron. Innovation fuels us.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to CIO TV Live, a production of Accent Infomedia and a sister concern of Enterprise IT World. We have been speaking to CIOs to understand their perspectives on various enterprise technologies, including cloud computing, digital transformation, automation, 5G, and many more. Today, our guest is Mr. Anil Menon, Head of Information Technology, Lulu Group, India. Anil is a seasoned IT leader, and he has multi-years of experience in various organizations, and he has seen the evolution of IT in those organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, this conversation is brought forward by Crestron, an audio-video automation and collaboration solution provider. Mr. Anil, good afternoon and welcome to you, and thank you very much for sparing so much of time with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay. It's a pleasure being on conversation with you.
All right. You represent a company which is, I can say, an Indian multinational conglomerate company that operates out of various regions, various countries, and it is expanding in India as well. And you are in a key position to drive the business by enabling digital transformation or automation or some other strategies as well. So what is your experience so far? If I can ask you from a retail perspective, how digital transformation or digital journey is influencing the retail industry?
Oh, that's like a single word, if I have to say, digital journey, retail, and so on and so forth. Because every aspect of retail has the digital journey embodied with, or is in some way or form attached to a digital journey, right? You name it, customer part of it, you name the inventory part of it, you name the employee part of it. Each and every part of retail has an element of digital. Every organization, if you look at it, the industry was in some way or the other on the path, right? They had the roadmap already put in. Thanks to this pandemic, people had to rework on the digital journey. Most of them had preponed the digital journey. Few were already on the journey, so it was easy for them to take a leapfrog and move ahead, right? Largely, for last 2 years, if you look at it, there were so many innovations which had come in this space that people took into 3 buckets, if I have to call it: the employee bucket, the product or the inventory bucket, and third, the customer bucket. Now, if you look at it, I have not put like others the customer first, right? The first person who got affected was our employees. How do you make sure that your employees are taken care of, are safe and secure, right? And in this period, and are digitally enabled to make sure that your customer experience is seamless, intact, and the customer is given the confidence and the trust on which the brand relies on, right? So that's how we put it into, if you have to look at it, the picture of it, right? It's got its own challenges because the way we were organized or the way the journeys were put into place. But to say we have come a long way there. We have come a long way. Now it's not so-called digital journey transformation. Now it's more about that. Now we have it. Now what next? That's the journey which we are now striving to do.
During this pandemic, we have seen all these banks, they have changed. The power of banking came to your phones. Similarly, healthcare also, that came to your hands using Practo kind of applications. You consulted doctors, took the medication, and even the medicine was supplied to you, sitting at home. Retail took the same path. Retail brought out some hybrid middle path where not only experience, also buying, selling happened also.
True.
Right. So how did you manage? What is your experience from your organization point of view? I can see the others are doing great in that sense.
Yeah. So it's a mixed bag, Sanjay. As I said, again, when you say digital, you always have to put it into at least three buckets, the three moving buckets, and try to juggle between them. First, you need to look at, okay, your customer, are you reaching the customer well? Are you being there with the customer at his doorsteps, at his so-called couch? He was sitting in to order because it is a lockdown. You have to be in. How do you make sure that you safely and securely deliver what he wants at his doorsteps? At least because we work in all the retail chains, right? The grocery, fashion, white goods. While white goods and fashion was not at that peak, they got a hit, but grocery was always there. It's essential, right? How do you make sure that your customer who trusted you for so long gets what they want at the difficult times, the essential goods? So what we did is we worked on our employee friend first to make sure that they are secure at homes and can work. They have equal access, are digitally enabled to make sure that they can help in this customer journey which we were envisaging with. Inventory wise, we tried to stock in as much as we could. We made sure that we had the relevant essentials in our place, in our godowns, in our distribution centers, in our warehouses, to make sure that this can reach the doorsteps of the customer, right? Then the customer. We made sure that they are enabled with PWA kind of applications. We are available to them on WhatsApp like kind of channels. We are available on social media. We are also available on the phone call. You never know what can work with them, right? We made sure that all these channels are well taken care of, and we also put in the trust with the customer, saying that our employees are safe. They are taken care of in terms of their temperatures. But there was a transparency which was provided out there to the customer, saying that, you know what, my employees are safe, they are vaccinated, and so on and so forth. And that's how we went by moving to the customer journey of it. We also made digital payments a way of life. It was no more cash, it was more digital payments. So whatever the customer would want at their doorsteps at this point of time with a no contact, with a contactless journey, right? We enabled that. And thanks to our partners, it was done in a very short time.
All right. Now, lots of technologies are there which are influencing, which are coming up, which are there in the horizon and being tested in some other geographies. AI/ML, for example, understanding the customer buying behavior. Similarly, AR and VR, which is very exciting technology as far as retail and real estate are concerned. You can sitting on a single place, maybe without entering into any store, you can realize what is there, how that can fit into your style. Sure. So what are the technologies you think that you used, and post pandemic also, those are of utility as well?
Sure. With pandemic came in a lot of digital elements, right? What happened with that is there's a huge new source of data which has come to you, right? Because people are ready to part with their knowledge, what their online presence and so on and so forth. There's so much of data with you, and we operate in almost all the verticals, right? The retail, the mall, the e-commerce, and all the spaces, right? The data was huge. While I knew Sanjay from 34 attributes, now I know him from 256 attributes. Now, how do I make use of it? It is humanly impossible to start juggling with this so much. And that's where the tools came. The tools came in with AI ML, where it brought in the opportunity for us as retailers to know our customers better. There were scenarios where I knew that, okay, Sanjay shops well in this period of time. His larger shopping cart looks like this. He may require this, right? All of this has been popped out by AI and ML, right? And tools are now largely embedded with it, right? This makes a lot of difference for us to find in new opportunities, to process improve. There's a huge process improvement which comes because of this. And that's a huge cost saving, if you have to say, or optimization, not saving, but optimization of cost is highly possible with an AI ML tool in the right place. Why I say right place now is that during this pandemic, while we try to suffice a lot of our needs from all the three verticals, customer, employee, and inventory and products, if I have to say, there was a lot of elements brought into the ecosystem, right? We also took a time to reevaluate the ecosystem, which made sure that the unwanted or the legacy and which no more holds relevant tools can be moved out of the ecosystem. And the tools which makes relevancy in this point of time is being brought in. On top of this, we put in the AI ML tools so that we get a large amount of insight on what data we work. Now, this is not where we stopped. We also empowered our partners like an employee and others by imparting skill sets, okay, by improving their skill sets, by improving their skills to understand this outcome, which has come through an AI. That was a very good journey which we covered so far. And it's a journey, it's a continuous journey. That's why I call it a journey.
So you're saying the retail industry has entered into that analytics, AI, big data kind of situation.
Yes.
I'm taking advantage of that.
It's just the maturity level where we are right now. Some are starting, some are somewhere in the mid, and somewhere really working, making sense out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The other thing is that along with this new technology and making it digital in the process, you are going into cloud, definitely, whether it is a private cloud or it is a public cloud. With that, cyber threats are growing immensely, right? Every day, hacking attempts are happening. Ransomware also goes inside. Worms are going inside. You have to, or the IT leaders, those who are having caps to protect the organization, must be looking at those aspects also. How do you see retail industry in India particularly is aware and doing enough for this? You know what happened in US in 2020 because of the one retail chain, one retail store, the entire the chain was attacked by ransomware.
Sure. So to add to that, as digital comes a security part, and it's grown multiple folds, right? Exponentially, there's the growth in the attacks and others. So has the evolvement of understanding with the leadership have grown up. Now, security has become one of the top talked about items in the board meetings, right? There's nothing called as enough in security world, right? We can do as much as we can do, but we should be aware and we follow it as a practice, right? So from a security point of view, there is a lot of innovations which has happened. There are a lot of tools which are coming. It's on your ecosystem and what you want to protect. How much do you want to protect, right? The ecosystem, the parameters have moved out. It is not just between the four walls and between your four WAN connections and all of it. Now it's all over the place because you're working from home. There are multiple factors which is come. The perimeters of security has no bounds, if I have to say, right? So enough of tools are required and a proper architecture towards these tools have been done. You should not be having, in fact, the industry also is now working towards it. We had security in a way of form. Now the architecture is totally taken a different aspect of it. There are multiple perimeters. In fact, as I said, there's no perimeter right now. And there are multiple other channels through which we try to make sure that the data flow is secure and in the right hands. So that's where I say that maturity on security has gone multiple folds. Not that everyone is on that journey, but everyone has kick-started the journey for sure.
In conference rooms, classrooms, smart homes, and places that are home to power, our products help people connect, communicate, and collaborate. Master a meeting, an opportunity, a moment. And while sometimes our solutions do nothing more than advance the proper mood, more often, they move companies, communities, and even humanity forward. And it's that innovation that fuels us. We are Crestron. We've defined and redefined the best in room automation, smart home systems, content distribution, and video conferencing technology. We never stop pushing further, creating solutions that exceed expectations, defy limitations, relentlessly committed to research and development. The result? Leading-edge products, built in factories of the future, equipped with quality assurance that replicates years of service in the service of peace of mind. What can't be replicated? The ingenuity of design teams creating solutions for customers long before a sale, and support that continues for decades afterwards. Training, education. We push these too, partnering with the industry's most ambitious professionals at Crestron Masters, so they, like us, are fueled by all the things innovation will help them do. Crestron. Innovation fuels us.
You said that senior leadership now understand and it's a boardroom discussion. That is true, but it is a business after all. The leadership minus the IT leadership understand where the business outcome meets with the budget allocation happening towards the IT. Always there is a tussle. Does it meet now? Is it meeting business outcome expectation vis-a-vis IT investment or
Yes.
IT leaders expectation?
Yes. So it's how you put it forth, right? We used to put it in the way we want, as an IT leaders, we used to put it. But now it's a talk of the town. Every other article is talking about security. Everyone, every forum, every digital media is talking about security. So while you're talking about business, they are also very cognizant of the fact that there is security threats which is coming up, right? So I suppose that's got a huge maturity level now, where we were taking to convince the leadership to put or allocate money towards security. Now it's become a little bit easier, not very easy, but still easier, because everyone around is educated about what the security threats are we carrying. First, it was only IT's problem. Security was only IT's problem. Now it's not an IT's problem. With so many threats and so many attacks and so many ransomware, so many demands on cryptocurrencies and others, the numbers have gone very high and people are aware of it. And that's the good part of it, if I have to say.
There is a fair bit of understanding now at the senior level management. They are okay with this.
Yes.
All right. How do you see the future of retail? I see metaverse is now at the hype cycle. We all are thinking about, even the marriage has already happened through metaverse. So we all are thinking how to give the better experience, do all sorts of things. Retail is one of the areas which can utilize to the maximum extent, giving the not only experience and purchasing also. I know virtually go and buy, everything comes back to you. How do you see, I just gave you an example. How do you see the future of retail with the help of IT?
Sure. So I always say that while you're trying to look at the future, please make sure your present is clean or can hold up the future. What happens is we already most of the retailers have legacy systems which are running. Now that's a huge investment, right? If you have just invested on a huge thing, you can't come and tell me, oh, tomorrow the technology changes, please change it. That's not happening. But yeah, very old legacy systems, we can go back and say that please remove it. It will not help us. It will hold back our future, right? So for the first thing what IT does right now or should be doing right now is cleaning up or creating that platform for the technologies like metaverse and others. Any new technology will only be successful if your roots are strong, right? If your platforms are strong enough and agile enough. The word agility has got a different wing around this pandemic. Everything was to be agile, 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 and agile. So have you created your ecosystem in such a way? You must have come up through this word called as DevOps and microservices and all of this, right? These are the new These are not the new architecture. They are now the trending architectures which is coming up, which will uphold the future and your journey towards the future. So metaverse and everything is bound to come. But how much of that will be successful with how many retailers? It all depends on what you're doing right now. Right? AI, ML would have sense long time back also, but were we ready for it? Now are we ready? Yes, we are ready for it. Now people understand what is an AI and what is an ML, right? What are the outputs they are getting? Now people are looking more about that. That's where we should be aiming ourselves to.
All right. What are the major technologies that you recommend your peer group or those who will be hearing this conversation, watching this conversation, that they should invest in, at least into the retail sector?
Oh, for sure, AI, ML, for sure. Make sure that you understand your data. That's the biggest challenge which most of us have, is understanding our own data, right? Please make sure the skills, invest more on the skill set development part of your partners or employees, or wherever you call them, right? Make sure that is being done. So make sure you have AI, ML, skill set upliftment by trainings and others. Invest into that. And for sure, invest into agile methodology of architecture. Security is undoubtedly the most important thing. No matter what technology you're putting, if there is no security, it's of no use. So that's an underlining statement saying that security is a must. Right? Whenever you are doing anything on the top, AI, ML, or any futuristic, you may call it XYZ, will require security at the topmost. If it fits into your ecosystem, please make sure it has to be there. Right? And it's a journey. To everyone, it's a journey. It's not you invest one and you're done. I'm safe. I'm sitting across. I'm all good and hunky. No, it's a journey. Please evolve. Please make sure you collaborate with your partners. The experts are out there. Please make sure, because larger what we have after a point of time, what happens, the ecosystem becomes very closed ecosystem. You do not expose yourself so that brings a constraint in your growth. Please do not do that. Collaborate with partners, collaborate with experts, and make sure how much can you be agile and open to the world. That will bring a lot of confidence to your customers, very well, for sure. To your employees, yes. And there is a lot of transparency and visibility across the board. That is what will take you to the next level. And as I said, future 5 years, 10 years, I am not even talking about 5, 6, 10 years. I am talking about 6 months. Right. Today, the roadmap is 12 months maximum. Or if worst case scenario, 18 months. We can't think ahead of that. It's going to change for sure. So always invest from that perspective that this is relevant for this period of time and can give you an ROI accordingly. Right? So please security, ML for sure.
All right, Mr. Anil, before I close this conversation, I must understand from you, is there anything on the top of your mind which you missed for last couple of years probably? Now think that yes, the time has come that I'll do it. I'll manage, I'll convince my management I'll do it.
There are many. Over the period of journey, there were many. So once upon a time, it was implement an AI ML. That's done. So somehow or other, it is coming up, and whatever I have been thinking or envisaging to be getting implemented, or I see value in it, somehow or the others is coming into place into the projects. Yeah. Now you ask me today, right away, Anil, what's in your mind? How about metaverse? How about metaverse? Why not?
Okay.
Right? I work on all the three fronts. I work on retail, I work on e-commerce, I work on malls. Why not? Right? And but now, how much of that is ready? What should be done? What are the backgrounds of it? There is a good project going on with the government of India, right? The ONDC, I suppose. Yeah, it's called as, I suppose. The Open Network. Why not work on that and see? Right? That's something which I think if you have to answer your question right now, right today at 5:30 or whatever time it is, it's metaverse running behind my word. How can I buy space at metaverse and try to do something around it?
All right. Thank you very much, Anil, sparing your valuable time and inputs with us. And it is going to be very, very helpful to the audience who will be watching it. Thank you very much, Anil.
Thank you, Sanjay. It was a pleasure having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Anil Menon, Head of Information Technology, Lulu Group India. If you have any question or query, I'll give my email address at the end of this conversation in a different slide. Please drop me a mail so that I'll try my best to get that question answered. Thank you very much.
Thank you.